everybody, welcome to the first class of the week. I hope you all had a lovely weekend, enjoying the sunshine. Let's get started. So we'll just start with a little stretch through the neck. So we've done this one of those before, you're just going to tip the head over to the side, take one hand over the ear, then reach the other arm away. You can do this standing if you're not comfortable leaning. So you should feel a nice stretch from the side of the neck into the shoulder. From here, come back into the centre and we swap sides, tipping over. Take one arm across, and reaching the other arm away. So getting that nice stretch down the neck. Deep breaths. One more time on each side, tipping over. Take the hand across and reaching the arm away. Last time, tip the head over. Arm comes across, stretching the arm away. Good, from here we're going to go onto our backs to do our breathing. So you're laying down on the floor with the knees bent, feet on your mat. And we're finding a neutral position. So you want to have that slight curve underneath your lower back. Just big enough to get your hand underneath. Arms rest down beside you. And we're taking nice deep breaths in through the nose, out through a pursed lip. Breathing in and out. So as you're taking nice deep breaths in and out, you want those hips to be nice and level. So pointing up towards the ceiling, as if there's two torches and they're parallel to one another as they're shining up. Keeping the upper body relaxed. Shoulders away from the ears, chest is nice and open. Keeping the weight evenly placed through the feet. So big toe, little toe and heel. And then just gently tightening in your tummy. The next time that you breathe out, I'd like you to tuck your pelvis under, so you're flattening your lower back into the floor. Take a deep breath in to stay. Exhale to release out to neutral. Tucking under to flatten. Holding there. Releasing out. So as you tuck under, what you're trying to do is find that nice flattened position. And we're using just the pelvis and the tummy muscles to move. Try and avoid squeezing your bottom. On this next one, we're holding our flat back. So you're holding that flat back, making sure that you're staying into the mat with that lower spine. We're going to start to tighten on the pelvic floor. So as you breathe out, you're tightening all the way in with the pelvic floor. Inhale to release. Exhale to tighten. Inhale to release. Tightening. And release. So thinking of that sensation of stopping a wee mid-flow. So you should feel as though your tummy muscles are working harder and that your back is slightly flatter into the floor. We're going to halve that contraction. So 50% tightening in the pelvic floor as you exhale. Inhale to release. Excuse me. So still thinking of that sensation of stopping a wee mid-flow. So you want those shoulders to stay away from the ears. They're down and relaxed. Keeping that chest nice and open. And if you are feeling really tense and tight, just turn your palms up towards the ceiling. Pulling the tummy all the way down. Keeping the weight even through those feet. So remember, big toe, little toe and heel. We're halving one last time, so 20 to 25% tightening. This should feel like a very gentle lifting, something that you could sustain throughout any exercise if you needed to. It's just working in the background. So your flat back position should feel nice and strong. You're using your tummy muscles and your pelvic floor to help you to stay there. We're going to bring both legs up into tabletop. So your knees are above your hips and your shins are parallel to the ceiling. We're going into toe taps. So you're going to be tapping one toe down towards the floor and lifting up, swapping sides, tapping down and lift, tap down and lift, tapping down and lift. So keeping that flat back, your tummy and your pelvic floor stay tightened. Nice deep breaths. Relaxing those shoulders and breathe. Let's take 2 more on each side. Tap down and lift. Tap down and lift. Last one each side. Tap down and lift. Tap down and lift. From there, hug both knees in towards your chest. And then we're going on to our hands and knees. Just grab a drink if you need to. Or just grab mine and left over here. So we're going on to the hands and knees. Take the hands under the shoulders. Knees underneath your hips. Get your tummy nice and tightened here. As you breathe out, you're tucking the pelvis under, so we start to curve the back. Arching your spine. You're dropping the head. Take a deep breath in to stay. Exhale to take the pelvis back to your start position. Working through the spine, piece by piece, lifting the head. So we're tucking under to curve, arching the spine, dropping the head. We hold, releasing out through the spine, piece by piece, to lift the head. So we want to get lots of movement through the back, working into each section piece by piece. So if any areas of your spine are feeling stiff or sore, you're slowing them down. So think of moving each vertebrae one by one. So as you're curving your back and pulling the tummy all the way in, and as you release back to your start position, let the shoulders come away from the ears. You've got 2 more here. Tucking under to curve. Arching the back, dropping the head. We hold. Releasing out through the spine. Lifting the head. Last one, tucking under to curve. Arching the back, dropping the head. We hold. Releasing out through the spine, piece by piece. The head lifts. From here we're pushing ourselves back into a shell stretch. Bottom to the feet. Reaching those arms out in front. And then we're going to be on our sides. So as you lay on your side, bring your knees bent, one on top of the other. Resting the head down, you can use a cushion or something here if you need to. Arms are nice and long, palm to palm. From here, we're going to lift the top arm up so your fingertips point to the ceiling. Take the head with you to twist away towards the opposite wall. Holding here to take a nice long stretch before lifting back up and over to come down palm to palm. Lifting the top arm up, fingertips to the ceiling. Taking the head with you, twisting away, we hold. And then we're lifting back up and over to come down palm to palm. So we want to keep those legs glued together and grounded to make sure that the twist is coming through the waist. The arm stays nice and long, reaching from the fingertips all the way down towards your armpits. Making sure you're getting a nice open position through your chest. Nice deep breaths. Taking the head with you. Looking at that hand for as long as you can to maintain a good range of movement through the neck. Breathe. 2 more here, lifting up, fingertips to the ceiling. Taking the head with you, twisting away, we hold. We're lifting up and over, coming back down palm to palm. Last one here, lifting up, fingertips to the ceiling. Take the head with you, twisting away. We hold before lifting back up and over to come down palm to palm. From here, we're going to swap sides. So either changing the end of the mat that you're laying at or rolling over to face the opposite wall. Making sure you've still got those legs one on top of the other. Arms are nice and long, palm to palm. So we're going to be lifting that top arm up, fingertips point to the ceiling. Taking the head with you, you're twisting away. Holding here for your stretch. Before lifting up and over to come down palm to palm. Top arm lifts, fingertips point to the ceiling. Taking the head with you, twisting away. We hold and we're lifting back up and over to come down palm to palm. So remember, you've got those legs glued together. They're grounded. Get that twist through your waist. You're really opening up in your chest. Keeping the arm nice and long. You're reaching from the fingertips all the way into your armpits. Breathe. As soon as you start to move that head, you're following the hand, making sure that that range of movement through your neck is even on both sides. We're taking 2 more here. This is your last one. We're lifting up to the ceiling, taking the head with you as you're twisting away. We hold Before lifting up and over to come down palm to palm. From here you're rolling onto your back to take a full body stretch. You can grab yourself a drink if you need one. We're staying on our backs. So you're laying down on the floor with your knees bent, feet on your mats, and you're in neutral. So you want to have that curve under the lower spine. Arms are resting down beside you. You're taking a nice deep breath in to nod the head, chin to chest. Exhale to lift your shoulders from the floor. Holding here to take your breath in. Exhale to control back down. Lifting the shoulder. Control back down. So you're using your tummy muscles to lift you. Pull your belly button all the way down. Got a chin to chest position to keep the neck nice and relaxed. So thinking big nod of the head, then you're tightening the tummy to lift you. Reaching the arms nice and long, keeping those shoulders down and away from the ears. Use your pelvic floor. Then breathe. 2 more here. This is your last one here before we change the arms. Chin to chest. Lifting the shoulders, we hold. Control back down. So we're going to hinge through the waist, reaching towards one foot. You're still going to take a breath in to nod the head. Exhale to lift. You're going to reach towards one foot on the with the hand on the same side. Back to the centre, down onto the floor. Chin to chest, lifting up, reaching over to the centre and back down. Nod the head, lifting up, you're leaning over, hinging through the waist. Back to the centre and down. You can support the head here if you need to. You're just then going to take one arm away as you reach across. Your hand will be behind your head and you're still going to use that nodded position. Keep the tummy and the pelvic floor working. Using that pelvic floor, breathe. 2 more on each side. Nod the head, lifting up, reaching over. Centre and down, chin to chest, lifting up, reaching over, centre and down. Got 1 more on each side, chin to chest, lifting up, leaning over, centre and down. This is your last one, chin to chest, lifting up, we're hinging. Back to the centre and down, relaxing there. Hug your knees into your chest. From here we're going to go into a kneeling position. Or if you're uncomfortable kneeling, you're going to lay on your front, nice and long, with your hands mat width apart in line with your ears. Grab a drink if you want one. So if you're coming up to kneeling, you're nice and tall through that knelt position. Make sure you've got your shoulders down and they're relaxed. Tummy is tightened the whole time that we're moving here. Make sure those knees are quite close together. And just slightly tuck that chin in so you're not straining through your neck. So as you breathe in, You're going to start to lean yourself back using the tummy. Exhale, tighten the bottom, bring yourself up. Inhale to lean back. Exhale to lift. Leaning back. Lifting up. So you're using your tummy the whole time. You're using the squeeze of your bottom to drive you back up. It isn't a massive lean. Keep it quite small. Just make sure those shoulders aren't creeping up, they're staying down. Leaning away. Pushing up. Leaning away. Pushing up. So it's nice deep breaths. Squeezing that bottom. 2 more here. Leaning away. Squeeze and lift. Leaning away. Squeeze and lift. From there, we're coming into a shell stretch. So you're going to push your bottom back to your feet and reach those arms out in front. From there, you're going to be on your back to 100. So if you need to, grab yourself a quick drink. Now as you lay down, find yourself in a flat back position. So nice and tucked under. So I'll talk you through and demonstrate what I can, and then we'll all go together. So in that nice flat back position, you're tucked under, so there's no gap underneath your lower back on the floor. You're going to bring your legs up into a tabletop position, so your knees will be above your hips and your shins parallel to the ceiling. You can either leave your head resting down if your neck is feeling sore, or you're going to nod your head and lift your shoulders from the mat. The arms are going to be nice and long, palms facing the floor. So you're beating your arms up and down for 100 repetitions. 5 as you breathe in, 5 as you breathe out, which I'll count for you. So it will look like this. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. The hands are then coming behind your head for support, and you're going into 2 sets of 8, sitting up towards those legs. They're still lifted in tabletop. Once you've finished there, you're relaxing your head down, but you're going to glue your legs together, still in tabletop, and we're going to drop the legs over to the side, releasing one hip from the floor. Inhale to the centre, over to the other side, tipping over. And centre. Tipping over. And centre. Tipping over. We'll do 2 sets of 8 there. And then once we're finished, we're going to hug those knees in and then go into a full body stretch. So make sure your flat back position is nice and strong. Once you're ready, lift those legs up into tabletop. Remember, knees above the hips, shins parallel to the ceiling. If you're lifting your upper body, nod the head, lift the shoulders, bring those arms nice and long. And we inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Tummy in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pelvic floor, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Halfway, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Tummy in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 more, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. From here, take both hands behind your head. We're doing sit-ups for 8, 7, 6, 5. Breathe. 4, 3, 2, breathe in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. From there, rest your head down, arms come down beside you. We're tipping both legs over to the side, releasing that hip. Come back to the center, tipping over, back to the center. The shoulders are down as you tip over, and center. Breathe, tipping over, and center. Pelvic floor as you're going over, and center, over, and center, over, and center, over, and center. 8 more, tipping over, and center. These are nice and slow. Take your time as you tip, and center, releasing that hip, and center, shoulders down, and center. 4 more, over, and center. Deep breaths, over, and center. Last 2, tipping over, and center, over, and center. So you can either hug those knees into your chest or come into a nice full body stretch. And then we're going to bring ourselves up into sitting. So lots of you have been saying about how the mermaid stretch has been one of your favourites. So I'm going to be including that quite a lot more. So if you really don't like that, make sure you let me know so I can change it for you. So we're coming into our mermaid shape with the legs. So you want to have, ideally, 1 foot tucked behind you and 1 leg bent in front, like a half cross-legged position. If you're not able to get that leg tucked behind because your knees or your hips are too sore, then bring the leg that should be behind you underneath in a cross-legged position. Remember that you can have that as quite an open position if, again, that's uncomfortable. Same with the mermaid. So you're going to have your hand that's on the same side as your front leg on the floor, and you want to be able to slide that arm away. So if you're quite close to a wall or the end of your mat, then just shimmy yourself down so that you've got room to be able to lean across. So we'll be stretching down our sides. So you're thinking about lengthening your body so that you can become taller, okay? So the arm that's the same side as your back leg is going to be out long. Reach that arm away from your body and keep reaching it as it lifts. So you're constantly reaching those fingertips away. Allow that hand to slide away from you, and if you're flexible enough, drop onto your forearm. From here, keep reaching that arm across so that you're in a nice stretched position. Your arm should be nice and long and reaching. So it doesn't matter how far over you're leaning, the arm is still reaching. So you're lengthening all down this side. So you're reaching out nice and long and just holding here as we breathe. And just lifting yourself back up to your start position, and we go again, reaching away. Come all the way up and over, drop yourself down. Nice and long stretch through that arm, through the side of your body, all the way down into that back leg. So you can let that stretch come all the way through. Bring yourself back up to your start position. We're going to do one more on this side. Reach all the way up and over. Coming down. Holding that nice long stretch. Coming back up. hand over. From here, we're going to swap sides. So if you're close to that end of your mat, bring yourself further down. Got one leg in front, and ideally one leg tucked behind. Still trying to sit up quite tall here in this position, but remember that if it's uncomfortable through the hip or through the knees, and it might be more uncomfortable on one side than the other, just slightly adjust that position. This hand should be able to slide along your mats. Your other arm is reaching long and away, so you're reaching away from the body, then up and over, sliding that arm away. Drop onto the forearm if you can. And you're reaching long, we're stretching down this side. Doesn't matter if one side feels tighter than the other. Just nice long stretches, deep breaths. Bring yourself back up to your start position. Again, we're going to reach away. Come all the way up and over. Stretching nice and long down the side of the body. Come back up to your start position. One more time, reaching long. Up and over, coming down. Really lengthening, nice long stretch, deep breaths. Coming back up to sitting. From here, you're going to bring one leg long and in front of you and the other leg tucked in. Sorry, I've got a really itchy foot. If it's too uncomfortable for you to have that leg in front of you, then bring it slightly out onto the diagonal. That's the position that I'm going to have, so it's fine for you to do that as well. And with this leg that's tucked in, again, if it needs to be looser, that's fine. So we're going to be reaching towards the foot. If you can't reach your foot, you're aiming for past your knee, but you're still reaching towards the foot. If you know you can touch your toes, reach past them, because if you're just touching the toes, all you're doing is stumping where that flexibility and stretch can progress to. But if you're reaching past, you're still working on that length. So just take it as a little walk down the leg, drop the head, and then reaching those arms. So if you know you can reach to the foot, you're reaching past. If you can't reach to the foot, you can't touch it, and you're reaching as long as you can. Dropping the head. Again, deep breaths. So you should feel a really nice stretch underneath the leg. If it's too much, you're just easing off. Just walk your hands back up the leg, sit yourself up tall, and we swap sides, take the other leg out, tuck the foot in. So remember, you can have the leg directly in front of you, or just slightly out onto a diagonal, completely up to you, which is more comfortable. We just want to be stretching underneath the leg. So walk those hands down the leg towards the foot, and then reaching the arms away. Remember, you're reaching towards the foot or past it if you know you can touch those toes. You are going to find that you're more flexible on one side than the other. So this is my right leg, I'm much more flexible on this side. Deep breaths while you're here. Should not be holding your breath. Reaching those arms, feeling that nice stretch in the back of the leg. Loads of us are tight there, especially behind that kneecap. Then take your time just to walk yourself back up the leg, sitting up, Bring the soles of your feet together so your knees are nice and wide. Just give those knees a little bounce just to release in the hips. And then when you're ready, just push your knees down, leaning forwards. If you want to increase that stretch, the elbows push into the legs, hold onto the feet and pull yourself forwards. Good. From here, we're going to be laying on our sides. If you need a drink, then grab one. So as you're laying on your side, we're going to take our knees bent like we usually have right at the beginning of the session on our chest stretch. And you're resting your head either on your arm as your arm reaches long and away, your bottom arm, or you're bending the elbow to rest your hand in your, to rest your head in your hand. Doesn't matter which one you choose for now. So you've got those knees nice and bent, and you can keep them as bent as you'd like, as they're just a comfortable position. Take your free arm and just place your hand on your hip. And you're going to use that just to make sure the hips stay nice and secure. Glue those feet together. So we're going to do what we call clam openings. So the top knee is going to lift up. It's as far as you can whilst keeping those hips secure, so you're not pushing back. It might just be a small lift and that's fine. And back down. The knee lifts. And down. The knee lifts. And down. Breathe, lifting up. And down. 4 more. Lifting up. And down. Lifting up. And down. Last 2. Lifting up. And down, lifting up, and down. We're taking the legs long. So now you're going to look down your body, and if you can see your toes, you know that your feet are far enough forwards. If not, then just bring those legs a little bit further in front of you. This free arm is now on the floor to help to keep you nice and balanced. So we're going to start with a leg movement we did maybe last week or the week before, I can't remember, but it's a forwards and backwards movement rather than up and down, which the rest of our leg ones are. So just moving the hip in a different way. So if you're really well balanced, you can keep your hand on your hip, but remember you want those hips directly one on top of the other. Tightening your tummy so you can zip up underneath your waist. So you're going to lift that top leg up just to hip height and flex the foot. And what we're going to do is you're going to bring the leg back as far as you can, maintaining the hips in a stabilised position. And then with the leg, you're going to go kick, kick, back to your start position. So it's going to come forwards, forwards, back. Flexing the foot the whole time. Pull the leg back. Think of it like a wind-up toy. Kick, kick, and central. Pulling it back. Kick, kick, and central. Breathe, pulling back. Forwards, forwards and centre. Pulling back. Forwards, forwards, centre. Use the tummy. Pulling back. Kick, kick and centre. 2 more. Pulling back. Kick, kick and centre. Last one. Pulling back. Kick, kick and centre. Relax that leg down. Just make sure you're still in a good position with those hips stacked. So from here we're lifting the top leg up, pointed just to hip height, flexing to come back down. Pointing to lift, flex to come back down. Nice deep breaths, lifting up, flexing down. So you're working through the ankle. Really important, especially if you're quite tight through that joint. Lifting up. Flex down, lifting up, flex down, last 2, lift up, flex down, lifting up, flexing down. We're going to go into our hip circle, so lifting up just to hip height, circling forwards for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reverse for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pop that leg down. Lift the top leg up just to hip height. Bottom leg finds it. They come back down. Lifting up, up and down. Lifting up, up and down. Lifting up, up and down. 4 more. Lift up, up and down. Lift up, up and down. Last 2. Lifting up, up and down. Lifting up, up and down. Double lifts coming up and down, up and down. Lift and down, lift and down. 4 more. Lift and down, lift and down. Last 2. Lift and down, lift and down. From there, roll onto your back and take a full body stretch. And then when you're ready, we're going to change sides. So again, resting either onto your arm or bend the elbow to rest your head in your hand. You're going to bend those knees, bring them up closer towards your body, gluing those feet together. Get your hand on your hip, that's there to keep them nice and secure. Still use your tummy. We're going to lift that top knee up, opening and closing. Lifting up and down. Keep those hips secure. Lifting up and down. Lifting up and down. 4 more. Lifting up and down. Lifting up and down. Last 2. Lifting up and down. Lifting up and down. Take those legs long. Flexing the feet, look down your body. You should be able to see those toes. If not, bring the legs slightly further forwards. Get that hand on the hip just to check the position of the hip, making sure it's facing up towards the ceiling. So doing that swinging motion with the leg. Think of like a pendulum moving, but it's twitching on the forwards movement. To lift that leg up, flex the foot. You're pulling the leg back as it comes forward. So you're going to kick, kick back to the centre. Pulling the leg back. Try and keep those hips stable. Kick, kick back to the centre. Use your tummy. Pulling back. Kick, kick and centre. Pulling back. Kick, kick and centre. 2 more. Pulling back. Kick, kick and centre. Last 1. Pulling back. Kick, kick and centre. Bring that leg down. Just make sure those hips are again stacked so you're not leaning too far forwards or back. Remember to zip up underneath that waist. Top leg lift just to hip height. Pointed. Flex to come down. Point to lift. Flex down, point to lift, flex to come back down, lifting up and down, deep breaths, lifting up, flex, come down, lifting up and down. Last 2, we're lifting up and down, lifting up and down. Lift that top leg up, we're circling for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reverse for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relaxing down. Lifting that top leg up. Bottom leg comes to meet it. And back down. Lifting up, up and down. Up, up and down. Lift, lift, and down. Use the tummy. Lift, lift, and down. 4 more. Up, up, and down. Up, up, and down. Last 2. Lift, lift, and down. Lift, lift, and down. Double lifts coming up and down. Up and down. Lift and down. Lift and down. 4 more. Lift and down. Lift and down. Last 2. Lift and down. Lift and down. Roll onto your back. Take that nice full body stretch. When you're ready, bring yourself onto your hands and knees. Grab a drink if you need one and you haven't kicked it over. Good, so coming onto your hands and knees, just going to do a little bit of lengthening through the arms. So try and think about just looking down towards your mat. You're just going to lift the arm up and back down, swapping sides, lifting long and down, lifting long and down, lifting long and down. So you want to keep that tummy really tightened. Just think of relaxing through those knees. They're just there to support you, lifting up and down and down. And just alternating, make sure those hands are going back underneath your shoulders. Deep breaths. Put 2 more on each side, lifting up and down, lifting up and down. Last one each side, lifting up and down, lifting up and down. Relaxing there. Just a little roll through those wrists. So we're going to go into our planks today. So we're going to do a side plank. This week we're going to concentrate on transitioning our side plank into a full plank. You can still do this if your side planks were on your knees. Just something a bit different. Trying to keep the sessions a little bit changeable, especially with the planks. Something that's really good to build your strength. So I went through planks loads last week, but remember, you either with bent knees, one leg long, or both legs long. This time I'm going to try to do it on a long arm, so on the wrist. You're not going to be in the side plank for very long, because we're then going to try and tip over into that full plank. But if it's agony and you want to go on your forearm, it is still doable. So remember that the aim of your side plank is to drive those hips up really tall. So you can do it with me or you can watch, whichever you prefer. Just remember that if you want to do your side plank on both legs long, I'm not going to be able to demonstrate that. So you're going to be lifting up into your side plank, getting those hips nice and high. Bring the arm up and then twist yourself round and into your plank. So if you've done your side plank on your knees, as you twist yourself round, just pop those feet under and lift yourself up. Yeah, if you've done your side plank one leg long, you're kind of already there to lift that other leg out into your plank. Then you're just going to hold your normal plank for a breath in and out and come back down. Okay, hopefully that's clear. I'll do it with you in a bend position and it should make sense. So we're going to lift up into our side plank. Lift the arm up long. Twist as if you're doing a thread the needle, but come into your plank. Hold in there, breathing in and out. Then come back down. Then we're going again. You can take this in your own time. Driving those hips up for your side plank. Lift the arm. Bring the arm round and onto the floor, into your plank position, squeezing your bottom, pulling your tummy in, breathing in and out, and coming down. Excuse me. So we're driving those hips up, lifting the arm. Remember, you can have one leg long, both legs long, holding that plank position, and relax. Let's do 2 more on this side. We've got to do the other side, remember. Driving those hips up, lift the arm. Start to spin your body. Try and come into that plank position. Holding there, breathing in and out. Relax down. We've got 1 more on this side. Driving those hips up. Lift the arm. Bring yourself around into your normal plank. Get that strong plank position. Breathe in and out. And relax. We're going to change sides. So again, either on long arm or on your forearm, but try long arm. It's really good to build that strength in the wrists. So either bent legs or one leg long or both legs long. Hand on the hip. Drive those hips up high. Lift the arm. Start to thread the arm down to the floor. Come into your plank position. Hold for a breath in and out. Then relaxing down. Setting up, ready to go again. Driving those hips up high. Lift the arm. Start to come down and round into your plank. Squeezing the bottom, pulling the tummy in. And relax. Remember, these are in your own time, but don't rush them. It's not a race. Driving those hips up. Lift the arm. Start to spin around into your plank. Find that strong position. Make sure your bottom is tucked under. Holding there. And relax. 2 more. Drive those hips up. Lift the arm. Tipping yourself over. Find that plank. Breathe. And relax. This is your last one. Driving those hips up. Long arm. Tipping over to the plank. Strong position. Breathe in, out, and relax. Just resting there. Roll through those wrists. Well done if you manage those. They're tricky, but they're good fun. From here, come to standing or kneeling. We're going to interlace the fingers in front, reaching those arms away in a curved position. You're going to pull the tummy in to curve the back and tuck that head through that space. Just hold here to breathe in and out. In and out. Releasing the arms to lift and just circle those arms back. Then take the hands behind, interlace the fingers, reach the arms away, and just lift the chest. Start to look up towards the ceiling. Nice deep breaths in that stretch. Releasing those arms. Roll the shoulders forwards. Doing each of those stretches again. Interlace the fingers in front. Curve those arms. Curve the back. Dropping that head. Nice deep breaths. Relax those arms, roll the shoulders back. looking to lace those fingers behind, reach the arms back, lifting the chest, looking up. Relaxing the arms, roll the shoulders forwards. And relaxing there, your class for today is done. So thank you so much for joining me for class today. I hope you've all enjoyed it and that you're enjoying the sessions. It's going to be an absolute scorcher of a day and week, so get out, enjoy the sunshine, try and go for a walk or something. And also, there isn't going to be a class on Friday because I've got a midwife appointment. But I will remind you every day of that. It's just unfortunately you get sent the appointment and that's the time you have to go. So I'm not going to be able to make class. But you can still look back at one of the other classes that I've done. They're still on YouTube and on this Facebook page and my own. But if you have any questions, drop me a comment below or drop me a message and I will try and help you as best I can. I hope you all have a fabulous day and I'll see all of you tomorrow. Bye, take care.